All right. Hi, and welcome to the Nerd Herd Guild. You know, when I first heard about Where Winds Meet, I was just ready to write it off. My brain immediately went to this checklist: another free to play open world, another map just cluttered with icons, another game that feels more like a job than a genuine adventure. And with some outlets like IGN handing like a 6 out of 10, calling it an amusement park where every ride is being run at half speed, my expectations were basically on the floor. I was bracing for the grid, the overwhelming menus, and the little push towards the cash shop. Seriously, it has all the ingredients of a game I should be completely tired of now. And I'll tell you what, I was completely wrong. After spending the first 10 hours in this thing, my first impressions are this game is just different. It doesn't scream at you where to go. It gives you this ridiculously beautiful and complex world, and that's just it. It trusts you to find its secrets. In doing that, I found something I haven't felt from a game in a long, long time. I was not expecting this at all. It's not just a game, it's a world that actually breathes, and it invites you to breathe right along. So let's be real. The term free-to-play open world RPG has a lot of baggage these days, right? My skepticism wasn't unfounded. It was built on years of games that promise you everything, but just deliver a checklist. And then you see a major outlet like IGN give it a 6 out of 10, criticizing it for trying to do too much and ensuring that none of its elements reach their full potential. That criticism makes you picture that whole loop. Log in, chase glowing waypoints, do a dozen basically identical tasks for a tiny reward, all while the battle pass and store buttons are blinking at you. We've seen it so many times. You think worlds like Genshin Impact or the icon-heavy maps in the newer Assassin's Creed game, and you just start to feel that fatigue. It's that fear of a game that respects your wallet more than your time. Even the marketing for Where Winds Meet kind of looked the part. You see the flashy combat, huge landscapes, the promise of endless content, all the stuff that can be brilliant or just bloated. And when I first saw the menus with all the different currencies and event tabs, part of me just sighed. It was like, "Ugh, here we go again." It has that kind of UI density that players have criticized, the kind that feels like it was pulled straight from a mobile game design, and a key point in less favorable reviews. It looked like it was trying to be everything at once: a single-player adventure, a co-op game, an MMO, a martial arts sim, and usually when a game tries to do everything, it ends up at excelling at nothing. And that free-to-play label, that's a huge red flag for me, at least. And I know for a lot of other players feel the same way. You immediately start thinking pay to win, or at the very least, pay for convenience, where being a non-playable character just feels awful. You're just sitting there wondering, okay, what's the catch? Where is the content paywall? Where is that grind so steep that the only reasonable way forward is to your wallet? That was the lens I was looking at through this game. A beautiful, ambitious game that I was almost certain was hiding some cynical, money-grabbing core. I went in ready to see all seams and find the moment the fun ended and the monetization began. So my whole opinion on the game didn't just flip in one big moment. It's a big, slow, creeping realization in these first 10 hours that the way they designed this thing is just fundamentally different from what I braced for. It started the first time I just wandered off the beaten path. I saw a plume of smoke in the distance, no icon, no marker on the map, and I just went to check it out. And there I found this little hidden camp with an NPC who offered a unique side quest that unraveled a whole local mystery game. The game didn't tell me to go there, the world did. And that's the core of what makes Where Winds Meet feel so special. It invites you to explore at your own pace and genuinely rewards you for being curious. The first thing that hits you is just the atmosphere. It's got this beautiful, almost contemplative vibe that's so rare in this genre. It's not constantly bombarding you with action or cutscenes. Instead, it just encourages you to simply exist in it. You're wandering through ancient ruins, stumbling on hidden areas, and the game trusts you enough to figure things out without holding your hand. The exploration feels organic, like you actually uncovering secrets instead of just following breadcrumbs the devs left for you. This is all amplified by the game's incredible travel system. The world wants you to explore vertically. You can run up walls, do multiple jumps, and glide through the air with basically no fall damage. It means if you see some cliff or rooftop that looks impossible to get to, chances are you're going to find a way up there, and the game will probably reward you for it, which is wild. And what's really impressive is how this scene of discovery seems to be baked into everything. You find hidden abilities tucked away in some ruins, or discover new traversal mechanics like cloud steps that let you hook into tether points to get into entirely new areas. You stumble upon NPCs that trigger quests organically, find clues that lead to secret passageways, and unlock skills that change how you move through the world. So far, the game is rewarding curiosity at every single turn. It avoids all the UI clutter and the giant neon map markers that have come to define so many open world games. The world itself is your guide, using natural cues to get your attention. It's a design philosophy that respects your intelligence, and it's staring to shatter what I initially thought the game was going to be. So if the world is the soul of Where Winds Meet, then the combat is definitely its heart. And just like the exploration, the combat is way, way better than you think. This is not button mashing experience where you can just turn off your brain and spam attacks. Seriously. From what I played, the entire system is built on this core idea that deliberate actions beats frantic input. Every single fight, from one random encounter with bandits to a major boss battle, it just feels so beautifully choreographed. You're constantly reading your opponent, timing your moves, and when it all clicks, there's this incredible sense of flow. Like you're the hero of this master martial arts film who is always one step ahead. The game respects your intelligence by teaching you its combat language and then just trusts you to master it. You pretty quickly learn that there are different kinds of attacks that need a specific response. You got your normal attacks, which you can block or dodge. And then there are more powerful red attacks, which demand a precise parry to negate. And finally, you have these golden attacks, which require pure evasion. Once you understand the visual language, every fight becomes readable. You stop panicking and you start adapting, turning what could be chaos into a controlled cinematic performance. The game pushes you enough to keep things exciting, but never feels unfair. And the weapon variety is where the combat system looks like it's getting really wild, offering a staggering amount of playstyle expression. There are 7 primary weapon types, and each one encourages a completely different way to fight. The sword, for example, is an elegant weapon built for players who love precision. Its whole kit is built around devastating counterattacks and a parry-focused style. If you thrive on that feeling of finesse and perfect timing, the sword feels absolutely incredible. In stark contrast, you have dual blades, which are the embodiment of pure aggression. They are ridiculously fast, letting you weave in and out of combat, stacking up elemental effects and critical damage. It's a completely different energy from the patient, deliberate dance of the sword. The spear offers a versatile middle ground. It's rapid, has excellent crowd control with its sweeping effects, and its superior reach lets you use spacing as a weapon. And it doesn't stop there. You have a fantastical weapon like the fan, which lets you launch enemies into the air for these insane juggle combos that feel like they were pulled straight from a stylish action game. Or the umbrella, which you can use to set as an automated turret, which you switch to a secondary weapon to continue your assault. The bow also works as a powerful auxiliary weapon for picking off targets, but the real genius is how you can seamlessly swap between your 2 equipped weapons in the middle of combat. Pressing the swap button performs an attack while changing your weapon, and I can already see the insane combo possibilities this opens up. This isn't just fighting, it's a creative outlet. It feels like you're constantly experimenting and crafting your own fighting style in your very own unique way. You know how you have a lot of open world games progressions that just feel like a chore? Like a series of disconnected tasks you complete just to make numbers go up? Even after just 10 hours, I'm starting to see the framework of a completionist dream in Where Winds Meet. The game makes being a completionist seem genuinely worthwhile because exploration combat and even the side activities all appear to be tied to your character's growth. The progression system seems far deeper than it first appears. You've got your more traditional systems that look robust and satisfying. You have talent trees divided into these 3 main branches, basic, arena, and boss. The basic talents are absolutely essential as they unlock fundamental mechanics like your heavy attacks and additional slots for your mystic skills. These aren't just passive stat boosts, they are tangible upgrades that expand what you can do. Then there is the gear enhancement system. You'll be collecting materials from the world, upgrading your favorite weapons, and turning your gear with random substats, which might give some players flashback to certain MMOs. However, it feels balanced and rewarding here, rather than overly punishing. You can tangibly see your character getting stronger, and I can imagine finding a piece of gear where the perfect substats for your build will be a genuinely exciting moment. But the thing that really hints at something special is how it all ties back into the game's core loop of just discovery. There are these special stat boots called internal arts that can raise your damage or increase your health, and you upgrade them by finding required collectibles through the world. This means that as you're exploring these hidden ruins and climbing these inaccessible mountains, you are directly contributing to your combat power. And mystic arts, which are the skills with effects both in and out of combat, blur this line even more. For example, the Tai Chi skill can be used to throw opponents in a fight, but it can also be used to gather leaves in a specific area or create ripples in water to make a fish leap out. It's ridiculous. Whether I'm deep in a main story quest or just climbing to see a view, I feel like I'm always growing. The driving force isn't your quest log, it's your own intrinsic desire to see what lies over the next horizon. Okay, so we have to talk about the elephant in the room. The single biggest source of my initial skepticism: the free-to-play model. In an industry where this business model often means aggressive monetization and pay-to-win mechanics, this approach means that so far, nothing I've done feels like wasted time. That based on my initial 10 hours, where Winsmeet handles its monetization with a level of respect for the player, and that's unheard of, at least in 2025, which is crazy. And let's be super clear, where Winsmeet is not a pay-to-win game. There is nothing you can purchase with real money that is tied to gameplay progression in any significant way. You cannot buy your weapons or gear. You cannot buy stat boosts. You cannot pay to speed up your character's progression. Every piece of combat, every region, every weapon, and every build appears to be completely earnable just by playing the game. The developers have created a massive high-quality experience and are offering the entire story and world for free. So yeah, after my first 10 hours, I can confidently say I was not expecting this from Where Winds Meet. I went in bracing for this monetization experience that critics called unfocused, and what I'm finding instead is a game with a soul. A game that trusts its players, respects their time, and delivers a genuine sense of adventure and discovery that has all become too rare. It's a breathtaking, beautiful fantasy brought to life with a deep and rewarding combat system, and a world that constantly beckons you to explore its deepest secrets. Its greatest strength is that it doesn't force you down a path. It builds a world rich with history, culture, and mystery, and then it simply lets you go. It's a game that is so confident enough in its own design to let your curiosity be your guide. The fact that the entire massive experience is offered for free with a monetization model that is fair and cosmetic only, it's nothing short of remarkable in today's gaming landscape. It has surpassed my expectations in nearly every way. Where Winds Meet is not just another open world game. It feels like a statement. It's a reminder of what this genre can be at its absolute best. An invitation to lose yourself in another world, not because of a game is demanding your attention or your time, but because you genuinely just want to be there. I was looking for a game and instead I found the world. But now I want to hear from you. Based on what you've seen, what martial arts style or weapons are you most excited to master? Are you going to be a master of the elegant sword, the aggressive dual blades, or are you going to get creative with the fan and umbrella? Let me know your dream build in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the first look, consider liking the video and subscribing for more content. Thank you for watching.
Daddy?
Yeah, Bubba?
Can I have Waffle House tomorrow?
For breakfast?
Yeah.
We'd have to wake up at 5 a.m. Oh, no, do not.
No, I meant after school.
After school? Yeah, I think we can do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sure.
That's favorite.
Okay, we're doing Waffle House. All right, what was I gonna... What was I doing? Oh yeah, I'm doing a whole review of Winds Meet, of Where Winds Meet. Hi,